Wanna know what's crazy? I'm early. Should mark it down in history. I'm eating, friends. You should all be so proud of me. Speaking of, I need to go take my meds. So we're gonna go on an adventure. Hi. Say hi to me in the comments. Hi, Andy. Hi, Lauren. I don't know if you guys saw what we're gonna be talking about today. Don't you guys like my grandma outfit? Just kidding. It's a crop top. Grandma on the top. Hottie at the waist. I don't know if that's how that goes. No one should be my friend. No one. This is me on a daily. I'm really surprised that after today, Jackie still wants to be my friend. We went shopping. Well, grocery shopping. And then, so if you have a Walmart near you, just letting you know, there's some candles that are on sale for $1 a piece at Walmart. But a motherfucking ton. And then these big 3-wick ones. I just brought this pill in here and I'll have something to take it with. The big 3-wick ones were $5 and they're gigantic. 10 out of 10 recommend that you go to your Walmart and hit all the clearance. I got my baby some shoes. I got myself this really cute pair of slippers. I'm winning. I hope I'm on my page. I can't find me. Can somebody like the video so that I can find the live? Please. If you would do that, you'd make everything 10 million times easier for me. You guys are about to watch me just take some orange juice out of the fridge and drink out of the container. Don't judge me. It's just me and my husband who live and my child who live in the house, so it's fine. Also, if you see my messy house, I'm sorry. Not sorry. Sorry, but not sorry. Alright, took my Adderall. We're better, guys. It'll start hitting different in like 5 minutes. Alright, so I hope everybody caught my live on Wednesday? Is that Wednesday? Tuesday? Was that yesterday? Oh my god. It was yesterday. There's no way it was yesterday. Alright. No, it was 2 days ago. Cool. So, I hope you guys caught my live. Did you absolutely love it? Because it was pretty great. If you didn't get to watch it, there's a replay of like an hour and a half of it, I think, in the group. So you can go back and watch if you'd like to. If you don't want to, then fuck off, I guess. Just kidding. Love you. Alright, so today we're talking about our bodies. And something that I try not to talk about a lot in here is like body size. Because I don't feel like it actually really matters. But in society, it matters, right? And Jackie and I had a really great conversation about this today. We were talking about we weren't talking about body size. But we were talking about the different genders and all of that and how that's like a new thing. And just talking about how things are seen in society and just social constructs that cause people to do things and say things and how you act and how people act towards you and all of that. And so when we think about when we think about our bodies, most of the time we don't think about our bodies. We think about the social constructs around our bodies. And what we've been taught to think about them. So if you're a girl, you're taught to be pretty and all these other things. We're given baby dolls, we're given makeup, we're given all this. If you're a boy, you're given more like learning things and, you know, building things and everything else that's more brain stuff. And it just starts from such a young age and goes on, right? But we're going to talk about our bodies and how society kind of has this whole stereotypes and ideas and what do you call them? Not the construct. I'm just trying to say like things that we have to be in order to be valued, right? And so in society, there's like a list of things that you must be as a woman to be valued by society. And the more of them that you check off, the more higher in the value category you are for society. So not only do they want us to be super skinny and super pretty and always put together, and they want us to be able to hold our own and hold a job and be a good mom, but also have a job that we're really good at. And so it's just like this checklist that's never ending, right? And so we're constantly pushing ourselves to be more and be better and be whatever the world tells us we have to be. Super problematic, because then no one's ever happy with themselves. And even if we fight our whole lives to meet all of these checklists and this social construct and this ideology that, you know, is what we have to be, we never will hit all the boxes because they're constantly fucking changing. So Kristen, that's hilarious. I definitely bought like $30 worth of stuff from that $1 bin in Walmart today. They had these little, I'm gonna do some of them in giveaways, so you can know that they're $1. I don't care. They're little selfie lights that go on the back of your phone, and so they slide up, so they're like a magnet. They slide up, and it's a light that lights you for selfies. Great, but the back is a mirror. So like, tell me how great that is, okay? Just saying. Anyway, I bought like 30 of them. I definitely did. Anyway, back to the thing, talking about our bodies. So I posted something earlier and I said I was going to go live and talk about it. So that's what we're going to do. When you looked your best, were you treating your body the worst? And that's to be honest. So if you guys don't know me personally, I'm just going to go on a little bit of a journey with you. So we're going to start way back when the boudoir studio didn't actually exist. So we're going to start back in like 2010 maybe. And I'm going to give you some family history. We're going to go from there. So family history, my whole family is in larger bodies for different reasons, different choices, different whatever. And they're all beautiful, but no one ever loved themselves in the way that they should. And so I was surrounded by women who not only were in larger bodies, but they hated themselves so much for being in larger bodies that they accepted this treatment and this way of being treated by the people around them because they valued themselves less. They thought it was okay for everyone around them to value them less because of it. And so I watched the women in my life, my grandma, my aunts, my mom, all of them, choose men or stay with men who treated them like shit, just because they never valued themselves enough. They thought because they were in larger bodies or they looked different or whatever, that they were not worth enough of anything to be treated right, to be treated better, to just to be valued in any way, shape, or form. And they deserved all this negative treatment that they were getting because they didn't meet the social constructs. Obviously, not true. And I will like to say that a lot of that's changed since I've done what I did and whatever. But anyway, I grew up in it and I went to college. And I was never in a smaller body really growing up. And in college, that definitely changed. I got into a larger body, and I didn't take care of myself mentally or physically or any of it really, and I let the way that my parents and the family that I was around, how they raised me and how they treated themselves, and how they talked about their bodies get in my head, and of course then I valued myself less and pushed for greatness less and worked for less and wanted less and thought that I wasn't going to be as much or be as good or do as good or do as much work as I could because of my body size. And I got married and saw those pictures and was like, in this body, I can't do anything. Like literally in my head and in this idea of how my parents raised me, how I was raised and society and all of it, I had in this idea that in a larger body, I wasn't going to accomplish anything. My body size was going to prohibit me from being successful and from keeping my, my family was so fucked up in the way of teaching me that when my husband and I met over and over again, they were like, wait, why are you with her? Wait, like, why are you choosing her? Oh, you have such a good man. You better keep up what you're doing to like keep him. And so when I was in a larger body, that was my number one fear, right? Like, oh, I'm in a larger body and I see the way like these men treat, my family. And what if that happens to me? Or what if he leaves me? And what all these ideas of like not being successful or not being able to keep my husband or not being able to have a happy relationship because of my body size. And that was literally all the trauma from growing up that way. And so I started to take random medicine off the internet to lose weight. And they had drugs in them that they should not have had in them. Not like illegal. I'm sure they ended up being illegal. I don't even know. But like they were like those famous diet pills. And I'm not sure if they worked or I just wanted so badly to fit this new idea and to have the great life that's, comes with whatever body, that I just stopped eating. And so I'd eat like a half a sandwich a day, maybe, and drank a lot of water and whatever else. I didn't drink. I cut out sodas. I cut out pastas. I cut out milk. I actually cut out bread. So I wasn't even eating, like, I literally think I ate grilled chicken salad for like a year. And it was terrible. So eventually my husband was like, this is not healthy. Like, this is not the way that we do things. Like, I love you and I want you to be happy, which is what he always says. I love you and I want you to be happy. But what I'm seeing is not healthy decisions that are like good for you. And so instead we worked really hard to like change our diets and all of that because like obviously I wasn't giving up this idea that I was been taught my whole life. And I got down to 140 pounds and I was super, super, super in a smaller body. And I was starving myself daily and working out 3 times a day. So I was usually on a normal day, I was at least working out for 2.5 to 3 hours while not eating. And I had an intervention and my whole family stopped me and blah, 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 whatever. So the whole point is like that happened and I had all that mindset. And then I started researching what this was about and why I felt that way, and how to change, my mindset around my body, because even in a smaller body at 140 pounds, I looked in the mirror and saw every imperfection. And if there was a wrinkle in my skin or something sat the wrong way, I would tear myself apart and be like, I can't eat today. I'm like shaking. I'm not shaking the, I'm twitching, but it's fine. But, it was just a very, very like negative outlook on everything. And so I researched it and read books on it and all of it and just slowly started changing the way that I saw things. And I'm not gonna lie that I still struggle with it sometimes, but having my job and doing this and finding the boudoir studio and finding boudoir really helped me to, like, I would see all these women. I mean, I see all of you as beautiful. So I'd see all these women as stunning, beautiful creatures and all different body sizes, no matter what. And I didn't see anything wrong with any of their bodies. And, I just thought they were gorgeous. And my husband was like, I just don't understand how you can see it in everyone else and, push them so hard and find it for them and teach them all these things. And you still like look in the mirror and can't do it. And so I had my own boudoir session and I've slowly just like worked through it, and having my own pictures done, even now, is just super eye-opening to like, oh yeah, well, that's what like everybody else sees. It's not what I'm looking at the mirror and seeing. I look in the mirror and I see all my imperfections. They're looking in the mirror and seeing the real me. And so I try to remind myself that daily and remember that at my best in society's idea, like my smallest, my thinnest, my whatever, working out constantly and all this shit, I was definitely treating my body the worst. And whenever I think I'm going to fall back into that notion or the way that I was treating my body, I just actually sit back and like look at this. Like when you're trying to do all these things and act a certain way and be all these things on a checklist and blah blah blah. Oh my god. Sorry. Stupid thing. Trying to be all these things, you know, you're usually forgetting what your body actually needs and what's actually like important. So I try to remind everybody that that's not real. Like we have to stop putting the society's ideas and constructs and all these things we've been taught and all the trauma that's in our head that tells us that we're not just as good in a larger body as we are in a smaller body, and put them away and instead just live for us. And it's funny because if you're my friend now and we hang out, things have changed dramatically in my life, and how I view shit. And I really can't believe no one's commented on this whole live because that's embarrassing. Yeah. Okay. I do not allow negative self-talk in my house. Actually, we don't really talk about bodies in my house. And so there's like no positive or negative feelings around any sort of body, no matter what like its size is. And so even if my son is like, oh, she has a small butt, I'm like, she does. Isn't it great? And he'll be like, yeah, it's great. And then he'll be like, this person has a larger butt. This butt, like, he was comparing two of my friends' butts the other day. Life of a boudoir photographer and a boy. It's fine. And he was like, this person's butt looks like this person's butt. And I'm like, you're correct. They do. Aren't they great? And he's like, yeah, they're great. And so, you know, we don't usually, like, size is never a factor. And so it was funny because my husband was on the phone with somebody and trying to describe, like, his friend worked at this store. So he was like, hey, you went to GMC today? Did you see a big white guy? And Phoenix looked at him and he's like, Dad! And Joe didn't answer because he's on the phone. And he goes, Dad! And, you know, my husband goes, what, Phoenix? He goes, we don't talk about people's bodies. And I was like, I'm so proud. Like, so proud. It was one of those mom moments that I was literally like, eyes shining. Oh, like, is this my kid? Clearly it is moment. My husband has started going to the gym really in the past like 4 months. And it's funny because he like comes home and he's like flexing and doing this. And he's like, don't I look great? Been losing this, whatever. And I'm like, do you feel great? Do you feel healthier? Like, how do you feel today? Like, do you feel that going to the gym is helping your mindset? Or do you feel better? Like, what's good about it? Like, it's never, oh yeah, your body's changing, so that's great. Because I don't think so. And when I got put on Adderall, for the first time, I went down like 10 pounds and people were like, oh my God, Brie, you look great. You've lost weight. You're doing so good. And I was like, I'm doing good? I'm starving myself. Like, Adderall literally makes me not want to eat. So what you're telling me is that you think I look better and that I look incredible because I don't eat and I lost weight, and now I look better to you. So now you've made me uncomfortable about my size and uncomfortable around you because you're watching my size, and uncomfortable about my body because now you're commenting on it. So it's just something that we don't do. And I try to forewarn my friends, like, even we love Jackie, but Jackie will be like, I lost like 4 pounds or something, or like gets on the scale, and I'll be like, Jackie, what'd you say? I don't want to hear it. Like, I literally be like, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to talk about that. I was like, how do you feel today? Do you feel better? How's your like thyroid doing? Like, because she has thyroid issues and stuff. And so like, I'd rather talk about what's affecting your body in like health wise, medicine wise, whatever, than talk about the size, because that doesn't matter to me. And it never has, and it just won't. And so even with myself, I will be like, I don't care. I really don't care if I change weight and go up and down. Like if I want to go eat a brownie or a cupcake or whatever, or eat 4 fruit roll-ups, like I'm gonna do it. Because I've realized that my value does not surround whatever my body is in. The fucked up part is that I understand that it also partially does because I run my own business. If I worked for another person, not so much, but because I have to be the face, the name, the body, all of it for my brand and for my, for all of this, I feel like having to be put together and having to look a certain way and be a certain way and my body, be a certain way is definitely a pressure that still exists. And that sucks. Like, it really does, because it's not a pressure for men. They're not pressured to look, perfect all the time or do their makeup or all of that. And so as Lenny, I think Lenny, I don't hope I'm saying it right. We all struggle on a daily basis. Some days are better than others, and we all work through it, but it's definitely hard. And I think that the more that it's talked about and the more we discuss it and work through it together, and it becomes more like, I don't want to say mainstream, but kind of like more out in the open, that these are things that exist and that we as women acknowledge them, and we stop judging each other and trying to put each other to these social constructs, the better things will be, because we're no longer holding each other with this pressure or talking about these things and making people feel uncomfortable and making people feel as if they have to be a certain thing instead of just enjoying their personality or what they actually bring to the table. Like, all my friends, you can ask them, like I ask you what you bring to the table, and that's what I care about. I don't care about your size. I don't care about any of it as long as you're a decent fucking person. So I don't know. This was like a 20-minute ramble, I think. I don't know if anybody's saying anything. Okay, so I did say Lene. I said it first. So winning. And then I was like, oh shit, maybe it's not Lene and it's Lenny, and I just totally murdered that name. But I didn't, so good. All right, well, that's really all I wanted to come live and talk about, and I feel like I'm just babbling at this point. So I'm gonna go tell you guys that I love you all, and to just remember this and try not to treat your body to what it has to be for everybody else, instead of just listen to your body and what it needs, what it wants, what it's feeling, and all of that is so much more important. So, okay, bye.